is related to what's called a complex fraction. Now, complex fractions you will study in greater detail when you get to Algebra 2, but we're going to kind of introduce it here in this class. So for your, just for your knowledge, a complex fraction is when you have a fraction within a fraction. So for example, if you did like 3 over a half, that's a complex fraction because either the numerator or the denominator are fractions. So complex fractions are not ideal because they're very confusing to look at. There's multiple fraction bars, and sometimes it's even tough to tell what's the numerator and what's the denominator. So if we look at an example like our problem here, we have the numerator is x squared minus 1 over 2. The denominator, so it's divided by or over x minus 1 over 3. So the numerator is this whole big fraction, x squared minus 1 over 2. The denominator is x minus 1 over 3. Yeah?
So could you say rewrite it?
You would rewrite it. How would you rewrite it?
X squared minus 1 over 2 divided by x minus 1 over 3.
Correct. So these are equivalent. Over in math, like the fraction bar over means divided by. So you can rewrite it like that, and we know from yesterday that what we do with that is keep, change, flip. So we keep the first, change the sign to multiply, and flip the second one over. Natalia? Yeah, we will get to cross cancel. However, we do need to factor first. And the only thing that needs factoring is that x squared plus 1. What does x squared plus 1 factor to?
Maybe x plus 1 or x plus 1.
It would be. Good job. So that is a difference of 2 squares, because you have x squared, and then 1 is a perfect square. All right, does anything cancel? Natalia? Yeah. So what we get in our final answer is 3 times x plus 1 over 2. 3 halves doesn't reduce at all, so we're kind of stuck with 3 halves. So 3 times x plus 1 over 2. So complex fractions can be simplified. It's not like it's no longer a fraction, but it's no longer complex. In other words, the numerator and the denominator are no longer fractions. So that's how you would simplify a complex fraction. So this one, we're going to rewrite as the numerator divided by the denominator. So the numerator is x squared plus 6x plus 5 over 6x.
What's the dark lines, like the division line?
Yes.
And then we'll put 1 under or over?
The 3x
Yes.
plus 1. Sorry, I didn't write the whole thing down. It's under it at this point. Because this is just divided by, this isn't a fraction in the denominator, it's just 3x plus 1. But for clarity, we can write it as 3x plus 1 over 1. So now we can keep, change, flip. So this is me keeping this the same then changing it to multiplication, and then flipping. Keep, change, flip. Questions on that? What do we have to do next? Factor, okay, Journey, which of these needs snowflaking?
X squared plus 6x, that's 5.
Okay, so what do we put at the top of our snowflake
5,
and the bottom?
6. 5 and 1.
So x plus 5, x plus 1. Any questions on that?
That's our answer?
That is the factored version of one of our numerators. Now this bottom one, we can factor a 3 out. That's a 3. That's the greatest common factor. And that's going to help us see what we can cancel.
Wait, where'd you get the 1 from?
Because if you factor a 3 out of this binomial, 3 divided by 3x, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So you have to think that during what you get here has to equal what we had before. So if you distribute the 3, you see how? Yeah. Okay. So
Cancel.
now we can cancel x plus 1. And I think that's it. That's kind of a bummer. That's all we can cancel. And so after we cancel, that's what I call our pre-cancellation, then we can multiply across.
Yeah.
So in our numerator, all we have is x plus 5. Our denominator, we have 6x times 3, which is 18x. Do you have a question, Tom?
Yeah, I'm still kind of confused. The 3x plus 3 and 3 times plus 1, because I thought that you could only take the root of it, it's actually squared.
Okay, so what you are confusing is taking out the greatest common factor, which is what we were doing here, versus factoring a difference of 2 squares. So what we did in this step is we took out a factor that both of these had in common, but we weren't like factoring it like this plus this times this minus this. Other questions? What do you guys think the numerator of this is?
Maybe X plus 1. Well, the big line. Wait, oh, the numerator is, it would be X.
So that's our numerator. So it's that, x squared plus 6x plus 8 divided by the denominator.
And then we'll put a 1 under it.
Sure. Yeah, I think that would be helpful. Peyton, did you ever hand up for a question? Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna move this to the side. Okay, so again, dividing is really tricky. So we're going to multiply. So multiplying means we do the keep, change, flip. You can factor it at any point. So I kept the first one the same, changed the second one, flip the last fraction. How would I factor the top?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would create that snowflake. Okay, so once it's factored, hopefully something will cancel. We can see that in this case, it'll be the x plus 2 will cancel. And then, lastly, my answer is just going to be x plus 4 times x plus 1. No denominator, the denominator is 1, then dividing by 1 doesn't change anything. Yes,
Never mind.
Bob?
So you couldn't cancel out the one, and it's plus one?
You could not. You can't cancel out terms. You can only cancel out factors. So x plus 2 is a factor, x plus 2 is a factor that cancels, but we can't just cancel things that are added or subtracted.